bad rider, you can create it like wall where the enemy team can't pass, and you just like pull one like enemy away and you separate them.
Yeah.
A small thing too is he can instantly kill SD illusions, although Lion much more preferred to that, he does still have that small upside.
Yeah.
Does going in for the Disruptor prevent any of those Tumbleman picks you were calling out before?
Slark mostly.
I mean, Slark gets hard countered by Disruptor. Until he gets BKB, I guess. Yeah. Like after he has BKB, then Disruptor is just like a dead fish to him.
It's also a matter of how much you can outplay your opponent. I think you're still confident playing Slark in this game. It's good against Batrider in many ways, as long as you don't feel you're gonna get... Oh, they're going for the Morphling instead.
Yeah.
That is also super strong.
I mean, Morph SD is just... You reach at minute 30 mark, where Morph has like 300 agility,
yeah.
You disrupt him, and your base literally just dies in 1 second.
The SD illusions have like solo killed, I believe, wasn't that against...
Remaining.
That was against Newbee as well.
Yeah,
it was Tron, he was dying, yeah.
A 6-dollar lifesteal died to 2 disruption illusions of Morphling.
Yeah, this brings back some nightmares for Tron and How, I think, because that Morphling, scary stuff with SD.
So what counters Morphling? I think the only one that's really talked about is AA, but is there any aside from that?
Elder
type? ET's first band.
I think,
yeah.
Like, obviously Anti-Match is really good, but you can't pick right now because you have Juggernaut already. Like, from the mid-heroes, what really counters Morphling?
I don't know, it's hard to say into Newbee's drafts. Generally, I would say the Invoker is pretty good. You could go Quas Vex, but even with the next Invoker, eventually you get strong against it.
I mean, I guess he's decent, but not really like a solution to Morphling.
Not the Dream, right?
And Morphling's actually really good against him too. Like, he gets his E-Blade, you get that Soul Catcher on him, he actually just explodes.
I suppose the Lotus Orb is good. At least many people go for the Lotus Orb on Timbersaw. That's going to be nice against Morphling, SD, Sanking.
So we see like 3 cores, I guess. 2 support heroes that are like very, very good right now would be either Rubik or the AA. Like, Disrupt AA is not terribly good, not terribly bad. It's like...
They ban out the Lion Liquid here, so they don't want to play against the Lion. Of course, that could take care of the illusions a lot, and again, Liquid with the SD Morphling late game is just illusion hell.
But yeah, one thing we didn't speak about before, you can't Manta style and replicate your own illusions as Morphling, but if you disrupt him, then you can actually replicate that Morphling, and you have like a super strong Morphling replicate.
It's tanky and it lasts for a long time, but it deals like no damage compared to SD ones though.
Oh, yeah.
The SD ones are monsters.
The SD ones are a boss, but you can like push out 3 lanes at once with just illusions.
I think Newbee should be pretty happy to go for an AA actually.
AA
I don't know. Good. Maybe Dazzle even.
It's AA or Rubik if you want to be a bit more aggressive. Like AA is the more defensive approach, I think.
Sure. It's a good Rubik game.
Yeah. Like Sanking or Chen. I was gonna ask, what do you think about the Chen in the crowd? There was like a dude.
Yeah, he failed to bring in the creeps. He must have left them at the door. Yeah. He must have been inspired.
Maybe he went the Dagon build.
Ah, yes.
Solo mid Chen, good stuff. Yeah. Well, the Chen Juggernaut is really, really strong. They got him.
Chen,
it's my time.
But yeah, like Newbee going for like a pretty push-heavy strategy. Morphling needs some time to get online. Like we spoke about the like 25-30 minute mark when he gets really, really strong, and they want to end the game before that.
Yeah, for sure. But it's also pretty strong base defense by Liquid right now. You have the wave clear from Mirana SD, and then you have the full commitment team fight. It's so close always. When Sanking has a blink, he could jump you. Well, we'll see here. It's pretty hard to play Chen against Sanking, I feel.
It is really, really hard.
I can't help but bring up a similar point to what I said earlier with Newbee's draft right now. Is it likely this Timber is going to be in the mid lane? Because I don't know. Throw the Sanking around or not. Fun stuff. Well, there's our draft, gentlemen. Impressions before we send things over?
Liquid's, I think, slightly a favorite. I really like the Morphling pick. It seemed like it was, they like tried to disguise it. They had the Juggernaut for the push, but Timbersaw not really that good at breaching high ground. I think they might suffer the same that Liquid had last game.
Yeah, I think they just forced something on them that they really shouldn't have. So I actually think I favor Liquid here.
I feel last game was much more of an outdraft where Newbee had the edge. Right here it's pretty even, but I guess Liquid has a slight edge. It's just really volatile though. Undying in the early game, if he succeeds, then maybe Newbee can just stick it. But if he fails, then yeah, he becomes so useless quickly.
We'll see which team will succeed and which will fail as we send things over. It's game number 2. We throw it to our casters now. It's Odie, Pixel, and
Game 2 between Newbee and Liquid just about to begin. They've switched stuff up this time. Liquid obviously a game down as they head into this one. Liquid with a bit of kind of an eHome-esque strat. They've got 4 of the same heroes they did yesterday, obviously 4 very relevant in the meta. The SD, the Sand King, that combination that we've seen eHome be able to execute perfectly. We're going to expect to see similar performance from Liquid as these guys, they work perfectly as a team. They've got Undying as well. This is exactly what eHome had yesterday against Alliance, and it worked perfectly. Is it going to work as good here for Liquid?
I mean, I'm with the panel on this one. I really feel I really feel that Liquid's lineup is quite a bit better. I mean, especially during the late game, they have a little bit of illusion clear, I suppose, with the Timber Saw, but everything else considered, we saw what those illusions can do to even the most farmed cores. So I'm assuming it's going to be even worse in this situation for Newbee.
You see Liquid already with their positioning down here to get the ward down behind the tower.
To battle.
See if they can find anything in terms of a pick, but nothing's going to happen at the moment. Newbee keeping themselves back. But as you said, overall, you prefer the way that Liquid's drafted this time round, and does it give them a little bit more flexibility in terms of timings as well? We obviously saw in the first game, they were able to secure a very, very convincing early game, but they were just unable to convert that into a strong high ground push.
No, I think that Liquid definitely have amazing hack run potential this game, because all you have to do is just disrupt the Morphling and then you just hit objectives. It's very, very straightforward. So for Newbee, they're the ones who really need to apply pressure. Like this Chen last pick, this has to do a tremendous amount of work. Like, you know, either pressure mid, pressure the safe lane, just try to get something going as fast as you possibly can. So I'm hoping for Chuan's sake that he can perform.
Lane-wise from both sides, looks to be standard stuff apart from the fact that down on the bottom, of course, Undying will be hanging around with the mind control.
I like this swap actually, like putting the Timber Saw on this lane. Like Undying during the early game, like obviously he wants to drop like Tombstone and fight under it. If you have like a lot of points into reactive armor, the Timber Saw is not really going to care that much, and plus it's double melee, so you know that your Whirling Death and whatnot are going to be much more effective. So putting the Juggernaut down here I think would have been a much harder matchup for the Jug than it would be for the Timber.
Especially with the fact that Move does have Chuan backing him up on Disruptor, so maybe, as you said, even kill potential if Liquid get themselves out of position. Of course that leaves the other lanes, this matchup in the middle lane, House Jug with Fada on the Mirana once again, as we saw, of course, Fada in game 1 playing this hero. And this matchup, again, fairly even for both. We don't see either of them going down unless Fada hits an arrow from a good position.
Yeah, the arrow is the only way you get a kill here. If anything, I think Newbee might be favored slightly in the middle lane just because if Chuan wants to run over there with a creep and just be annoying, he can do that. And Fata is not really going to have any help because Jerax is going to be doing, I think, some pulling and stacking on his side of the woods. But it really just depends on where Chuan wants to pressure. If he leaves us alone in a strict 1v1, both heroes just farm.
See Chuan already making him up top, bringing some creeps around. No, it's just a couple of skeletons. Nothing going to happen there unless you can just check out around the pool point, seeing if anything's going down on the Liquid. It's not going to be the case though, as both members of Liquid, the Timberman and Jerax in lane, just coming in with a satire, spam the purple walls, keeping the Timberman back, and indeed he's got to be careful. Have 4 stacks of the napalm on him as well, keeping himself out of harm's way. But Chuan just getting the most out of this. He's got a couple of more blasts left in the tank, so he'll stick around. He's hit a couple, and is he not going to drop the... There we go, there's the third one. And the Timberman is still playing the gold and XP, of course, from it.
Still got some pretty good value out of that. What was that, 3 shockwaves? Not too bad.
Yeah, 3 shockwaves down onto one more down bottom. We'll see Moot just salve himself up there. Harassment from Mind Control with the Caustic Finale, causing a little bit of an issue for the Timber in these earlier stages. Not going to be enough to get the kill though. We can see CS-wise, the lane is going very nicely for Mind Control. He's 15 for 3. So we're certainly seeing that the Newbee are unable to pressure this Sand King, especially with the backup of Feroki on the Undying. Liquid seem to be doing very well on this bottom.
Sand King's actually just like OP. This hero just lanes so well against a lot of the stuff that's commonly picked here at TI. When you put him in this aggressive position, you're laning against another melee, it doesn't matter what support you're with, like he's gonna get farmed.
Top lane, Steven moving in onto KP. He has got the Firefly. Disruption to set it up. Oh, the burst is enough. Liquid getting themselves first blood for the Timberman and his Morphling. Great way for them to start the game. And then the Timberman, he's going to be happy with that kill as well. As we can see, 15 for 3. He was certainly being slowed down a little bit by the presence of the bat. So he's going to free up a bit more space for him. Back over towards the mid lane. How? 18 for 2. Rather still has the edge. 22 for 4. So pretty much as close as we expected this to be, especially with the fact that Chuan yet to make a rotation towards the mid with the Chen army. He's just picked up a smoke, and we may indeed see that change if he wants to try and make a move somewhere on the map now.
I mean, he buys the smoke, but he doesn't really have the best creeps for ganking. That's the problem. I mean, maybe he can pressure bottom a bit, give the Moo Timber some breathing room. Kuro's been making his way over for the 4-minute rune as well. I think he might. Yeah, he's going to beat Chuan there. He's even going to scout out the rotation as well. So nice stuff, again, from Liquid here in the early game in game number 2.
I mean, Chuan, as you said, with these movements around, where do you imagine we are going to see him head for? Where's the easiest place for Chuan to make a play on the Chen?
Like, killing mid is actually pretty hard unless you can force out a leap, so I don't think he would be going there. I think the easiest place to have impact is either helping the Batrider or helping bottom.
You can see already, Liquid, they're going to be the first ones to try and jump in on move. Kaka, responding, dropping down the field. Broken's just going to walk himself out of it, though. I'm turning around, in fact, mind control. Maybe even looking for Chuan, but Chuan has got the creeps onto Kuroki. Kuroki, double strength sap. Looks like he's going to be fine. Jax joined the force as well. Burrow strike onto Moon. Liquid responding as best as they can under the cover of Moonlight. Looks like they're going to be okay, and again, Kuroki comes back in. 3-man decay takes down one. And even now, they're looking for more on the field. Coming out, but oh, here comes control. Mine. Burrow strikes through.
Oh, one health.
Finish.
He had 1 HP.
Oh, 1 HP. He made it out. Liquid responding nicely to Newbee's attempts at a rotation down there. 2-1 at the moment. Liquid are going to have to get themselves back to base. This is going to give a bit more space for Timber, of course. Mid lane, How ready to move in. Fada actually hasn't got a lead for 3 seconds, and How he does have an Omni Stash. Fada, he's got to juke this.
There we go.
Leap comes off cooldown just in time. Had a very, very close call there for Fada.
It's hard to chase in that situation. You need the phase boots completed, I think, for How to be able to get that kill. He only had the one blade attack, so a little bit unfortunate, but still doing very well in his lane. Obviously, Fata's beating him by a little bit, but sending Fata back to base will pretty much allow How to catch up. No real issue. He should be able to secure the 6-minute rune as well. So Newbee with still a better early game than we saw previously. The difference is that...
I'll take your tribute.
It's nice. I mean, How's just bottled himself an Invis, and he's still got that Omni. This, you know, he could certainly set something up with this one.
I mean, if he goes into the jungle or looks for any solo kill, he should be able to find it. The other option is he can TP bottom, and he can just pop the Invis and then look for a counter kill there as well.
Mind control, of course, still in a very good place, but at the same time, Moo has caught up on the Timbersaw. Even CS at the moment. Moo level 6 as well, so the killing potential is certainly amped up. So Kaka hitting 3, didn't have the pointing glimpse earlier, now he does. So the catch potential is going to be even greater down on this bottom lane. He's headed back over though to join the force of mind control. Make sure that Liquid can keep the control that they have had on the lane. Jumping in, but already TP's coming in. How? Immediately joining the fight. He's looking for a chance to use the Omni. Hasn't quite got the mana with the bolt charge. Now he's got enough. He's Invis as well, but not quite the usage of the Invis into an Omni Slash he maybe hoped for, as Liquid just back themselves away. And Howard just make the long journey back towards mid with that Invis rune. And doesn't look like he's going to find the kill that he wanted at all with that rotation.
That was a really bizarre chain of events. Like, if anything, you bait your teammates and you just use the Invis to force them to overcommit, and then you just get a free spin or a free Omni, and instead he just literally ran at them. I don't know if he thought he used the Invis, but that was definitely not the play.
Radiant's middle tower.
Just little movements like that. It's going to allow Fodder to getting to a point where he's nearly 1k ahead of How when it comes to net worth. Top lane, Jarek's doing his best to create space from the Timberman. It's working out so far.
I mean, he's going to hit level 6 at what, like 9 minutes? 10 minutes? It's going to be really nice for Jarek.
Is under attack.
And this Chuan...
It's not managed to achieve that much.
Yeah, Chuan's Chen is not really... I mean, he's gotten 1 kill for his team, which is great. But he's not really able to apply pressure anywhere else. And the thing is, it's really hard to gank more points, but you can pressure the lane.
Fodder jumps in. Easy kill for the Mirana. And the ping immediately comes out from Newbee. They know there's going to be a ward around on that high ground.
Dire's middle tower is under
Free
attack.
solo kill. Top lane, pings one out 20. He's got the positioning. He may be able to punish Jerax. With the detection, Jerax goes for a TP from Invis. Flame break knocks him out. Well, that presence as well. They'll take down Jerax, Moonlight Shadow or not. Now with a good army as well on the top lane, Newbee could look to try and pressure in this safe lane of Liquid and shut down this area of the map, make it a little bit harder for Timberman to have as much space as he'd hoped for to farm up. They're going to react Liquid, of course, by just bringing Matumba Man down to the bottom lane, keeping him away from Newbee's aggressive
Dire's
push.
structures are fortified. Radiant's
Already,
bottom tower
Moot
is
was the
under
last
attack.
man left, but realizing he doesn't want to stick around for this, especially with mind control, fishing around in the tree line. See if there's any stragglers left behind by Newbee. And looks like it will simply just be the tier 1 for the tier 1 trade at this point of the game. And in a game where the early game is certainly looking better for Newbee in comparison to how game 1 was. But at the same time, Liquid have certainly got their strengths. Flutter, of course, on the mid-Mirana. We can expect good timing on the Aghanims with this beginning, unless Newbee put any attention towards that mid lane. There's certainly a lot of space being given at the moment from Mirana. Liquid now heading up top. Newbee pushing onto the tier 2. We'll see if they're able to do anything about this. I mean, Newbee's strong. Obviously, with the gen, it's very effective.
I mean, they're getting some damage in power, but they might get punished here for staying too long.
Just to try and clear out the gen army. They're going to find it as well. They'll take down creeps. Now, he moves the tombstone.
Kaka is only level 4 right now. It's 10 minutes in. You really want your supports to be a higher level by now. Having Static Storm is going to be huge. Having higher levels in the glimpse to make sure that you punish and can abuse that.
They might get a catch on the back line. The burst strike on Samu. How? He's going to react by moving forward with the blade here, but Jackson, the demonic purge. Used to Kai out. He's still got the Omni though. He's going to jump for us. Only a few slashes, of course, at this stage of the game. Not quite enough damage. KP still moving forward. Gets the lasso on Tavana, and the Blade Fury as well. They should be able to finish off the Mirana fighter, trying to get out. What might make it takes down the bat in return. How? Surrounded by 3. It's a 2-for-1 trade for Liquid, and it looks to be even better. How? He's left the kitty cat up on the high ground. And Matumba Man, 1v1 in carry versus carry at the moment. At the same time, Chuan TV's out in front of Liquid. And all that's left for How is to just run away. Matumba Man waveforms forward, finishes off the kill, and that's going to be the 3rd one he's picked up this fight. A fantastic fight for Liquid in the terms they get so much for the Morphling there, and that one engagement puts Matumba Man at 6k net worth at this 11-minute mark.
It was a very disjointed fight. Matumba Man was pretty much on the opposite side of the rest of his team, just fighting the Timber, kills him eventually, and they commit a lot there. It seemed like there was some miscommunication.
Oh, and Apollo just walked in, and Gaka, no chance of getting away from being hit from an arrow like that. Liquid, certainly with that fight in the way that, you said yourself, it was always going to be risky for Newbee trying to get that kind of a push done at this stage of the game, and it's hurt them pretty hard in this early stages.
It's because they feel very pressured. They know their lineup is not going to scale as well as Liquid's. Even with an Undying on your team, like the Morphling is going to be a huge nuisance. Arrow going to be off the mark here. But yeah, Liquid's lineup is just, in my opinion, straight up better during the late game, especially with the addition of the Chen. That hero just falls off really hard when you don't get the objectives, and every tower except for the tier 1 safe lane is still standing to the side of Liquid. Chuan, he is level 6 now though, and he's getting closer and closer to that mech. That's like the only reason I imagine they draft the heroes, because they want something to pressure lanes really hard. They recognize that Disruptor is a weak lane support, and just having something to be able to pressure is necessary, not only a natural mech carrier, but it's not really working out for them so far.
You can see a smoke from Liquid as well, ready to make a movement into Newbee's jungle. Jackson Flutter coming in. Chuan could be the one to pay the price here. Indeed, Jerax finds the setup. There looks to be no help for the Chen here at the moment as they're chasing down the turning up the fight as well. Let's get a bit more gold in his back. Newbee Flutter getting the kill. Moo as well for now. And again, Liquid playing this early stage of the game very nicely indeed. Newbee unlikely to want to respond to this. I mean, How has got an invis, Omni Slash at the ready as well. If a member of Liquid comes apart from the pack, maybe he can get a pick off. He's just going to keep hanging around, get the intel for the team.
Radiant structures are
Liquid
fortified.
looks like they won't be punished for this, and just waltzing across the map as well. They may even find another. I mean, Taka, he's on his own, and Liquid just walking around the map, take kills wherever they want.
This is the same Liquid we saw in game 1. The difference is that this time around they can actually hit objectives. So this is a really, really bad situation for Newbee at the moment. They have their ultimates available. The problem is, KP's blink, it's 13 minutes in, he's still like 600 gold away. Whereas the Sand is
and again, Liquid. They're just walking around. Newbee, one after another, getting picked off alone. And as you said, with the progression that the bat was looking for, KP and his eyes on the blink dagger. It's going to be painful. 12 for 3 early stages. And as you said, this is certainly going to be a very different scenario in terms of Newbee being able to swing this one around after a start like this.
Newbee don't even really have the greatest of wave clear this game. Like, sure, the Timber's fine and everything, and you can use Firefly and Batrider.
And how? He's immediately the combos there. Is he going to get a chance to get out there? Blade Fury is still on cooldowns. He's going to run. He'll come up in a second. They've got the Hand of God. Only just getting himself back. Liquid continuing to chase with the TP's coming out. Oh, DK nearly does it.
Allies.
Al very lucky to get away with his life here. We'll see if Newbee are able to fight back. They're moving forward, but detection isn't going to be there on the outer bounds. Liquid has to play around with it. Kaga burns it down. Liquid, if they can get an even more demonic perch on move. Marshall has got quite enough mana though for Burrow. But it doesn't matter. The burst from Liquid between the combination of the Soul Catcher and the Timberman. 14 for 3. Things looking very, very nice indeed for the side of Liquid. And we can see what the Juggernaut House, 6.7k, he's up there. But the rest of the team and Newbee, they certainly are. The core taking a massive hit and falling hugely behind at this stage of the game.
Yeah, it's a very lopsided performance so far in favor of Liquid. The Morphling is going to be extremely difficult to deal with this game. He has a Link-ins well before the Blink Daggers coming out on the KP Bat. That's already a big enough problem, honestly. And in addition to that, still the Chen hasn't really done enough, like nowhere near enough.
On top lane. Illusion. Oh boy, he gets the Omni off in time. Did you got some of this damage? Well, they just turn around and bring him down. Liquid again. They're finding so much, and Newbee, they're coming out a little bit too much, it feels, on their own. And especially the big cores as well. And as we were saying, Jug, he's one of the shining hopes at the moment for Newbee in terms of his farm, but if Liquid are able to kill him just like that when he's out of position, it's going to be very hard for Newbee to bring this one back round.
They needed to pretty much play the game that Liquid played in the first match in the first 10-15 minutes. Just try to go for kills, try to pressure, put Liquid in the uncomfortable position, but they weren't able to do any of those things. So now Liquid are just in a fantastic spot. They have a really good core matchup. They have a Mirana and a Morphling against pretty much just a Juggernaut.
Look again, an arrow from Vada connects.
It was not luck.
And it's turning into a little bit of a slaughterhouse here for Newbee, as they are losing here left, right, and center. It really does feel like a repeat of the start of game one. But as we've been saying since the draft, Liquid, they've got certainly a bit more of their bases covered, and they do have push potential and ways to utilize this lead that they've created, as opposed to what they had in game one. Mid lane, Timberman coming in looking for Hal. Someone's going to control the Liquid! No chill whatsoever. The perfect plays coming out time and time again. And they're not even done. They're hanging around on the sideline. How? You don't want to come out, son, because they're going to be able to jump you on the back line. They're looking for 12 first.
Oh my God.
He's trying to get himself back to base. Liquid, they cheat. It's all over. It's all over. And what a way for Liquid to come back after the mishaps of game one. They asked you, they said, Andy, would they be able to compose themselves, bring it back? But absolutely tenfold from Liquid. The draft was there. We said it at the start. We knew it would be strong with this combination of SD, Sand King, Mirana. There's a reason why those three heroes are hot material at the moment.